Hey everyone, Mr. Russell here, and I'm going to talk to you guys in this video about how to solve an and compound inequality. So if you're looking for help on graphing, integral notation, or inequalities, or compound inequalities, please take a look at one of the other videos. Here we're just going to look at solving an and compound inequality. Okay, so here's the example we have, and it says 4 is less than or equal to 2 plus 2y, which is less than or equal to 24. Okay, now the goal here, just like with solving any equation or inequality, is to get the variable by itself. So one thing we could do, now this isn't using a method I take, but we could split this into two individual inequalities using this middle portion. Okay, so what's in between the two inequality symbols and both inequalities. So the way this would split, if I wanted to, would be to write it as 4 is less than or equal to 2 plus 2y. Okay, it's an and compound inequality, so I write the word and in between them. Okay, and the middle part again, so 2 plus 2y is less than or equal to 24. And then when you have those two inequalities, you just solve them both separately to get y by itself. Now, I found by doing that, it gets redundant because you go through the same steps in each inequality. So instead, what I'm going to do is solve it all at one time. So I'm going to get rid of all this and just look at this all together and go through the steps to get y by itself. So ask yourself, if this was a normal equation, what would you do in the middle here to get y by itself? So I'm still focusing on this part of the inequality. And say to get y by itself, what's the first thing we would need to do? You know, we follow the reverse order of operations. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that addition and subtraction first. So we're going to subtract 2 from the middle, right? Because 2 minus 2 would be 0. The only difference here is now I also subtract it from the far left-hand side and the far right-hand side. So there's essentially 3 parts to this inequality now. Okay? And when I do that, my 2's in the middle will cancel out. And now we have 2 is less than or equal to 2y, which is less than or equal to on the right-hand side, 24 minus 2 is 22. Okay? Now in the middle, we still have this 2y inside here, right? I saw this 2y. So how do we undo multiplying y by 2? We're going to divide both sides, or divide it by 2. So if I divide the middle by 2, I have to also divide the far left-hand side and the far right-hand side by 2. So let's simplify. On the left-hand side over here, 2 divided by 2 is 1, which will be less than or equal to, oh, my 2's cancel out there in the middle. I'm left with y in the middle, which is less than or equal to 22 divided by 2 is 11. Okay, so now I would say my solutions are all the numbers between 1 and 11. Or I can read it as y is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 11. Okay, in the next video we'll talk about how to graph that and how to write that in notation. Thanks.